Okay, thanks everybody for coming. My name's Ethan Raziel. I've met many of you, or I've sent you emails, and maybe you've sent me emails, so thank you. I'm handling the public relations for the event, and really excited to have the 5th annual Augmented World Expo and have the press conference. We've got 5 companies that we've selected, which we think have the most exciting news and coolest things to show you that you may have never seen before. 4 of them are here. 1 is coming in a minute. The 5 companies that you'll hear from are BitGym, Engrain, Sulon Technologies, Mataio, and Qualcomm. And so you'll be hearing from all 5 of those. The format of it is going to be each company is going to have about 8 minutes to present, and then you'll get a chance to ask questions after each of the presentations. So I'll be roaming around with a mic for that. But before we start the first presentation from BitGym, I want to introduce the producer of Augmented World Expo and the co-founder, Mr. Ori Inbar.
Thank you, Ethan. And welcome everybody to Augmented World Expo's press conference. My name is Ori Inbar. I'm the CEO and co-founder of augmentedreality.org, which is a nonprofit organization with a mission to help advance augmented reality to advance humanity. And we do it by connecting and educating, as well as helping AR startups all over the world to hatch their ideas to market. We also produce Augmented World Expo, now in its 5th year, and it's been doubling every year in terms of attendees. It's been, I guess, since the beginning, the world's largest augmented reality event dedicated to wearables, augmented reality, and the Internet of Things. And why did we decide to focus on these 3 technologies? Because together they make the interactive world. Why is the interactive world so important? Because in the interactive world, everything is more engaging, productive, and ultimately more fun. And what's the interactive world? It's where augmented reality becomes the interface between wearable technologies and the world, or the Internet of Things, if you will. So here are some of the top trends that we identified in this world, and I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. First one is from gimmick to value. First thing you'll notice in the conference and the sessions is that about a year ago, augmented reality has made a transformation from a gimmick to a value solution. From a girl jumping on a marker to applications that help in retail, healthcare, sports, training, entertainment, and many other areas which are being revolutionized with this technology. The second trend is from wearable to mobile. From mobile to wearable, sorry. I mean, the smartphone back in 2009 gave us basically the first opportunity to experience augmented reality on a mass level. But we wanted more, and we've all been waiting for glasses, augmented reality glasses, to arrive. And what's happening in 2014 is that 10 companies are launching their products, mostly 1.0 products, in this space after a long wait. So we're all super excited about it. But we have to remember, these are still 1.0 products. Some would say even beta products. So it's going to take some time until they mature. In the meantime, most of the augmented reality experiences that you'll see will be experienced on mobile devices until glasses reach the inflection point. The third is from consumer to enterprise. This is the most significant trend that we're seeing this year. Enterprise augmented reality is exploding with projects spanning training to warehouse picking to field service to security and many other areas that are driven by the need of Fortune 1000 companies to help improve their businesses, and they see this technology as the only one that can really solve these business problems. The fourth, from GPS to 3D-fying the world. The first augmented reality demo back in 2008 was based on GPS, and it was pretty cool, but we realized that when you try to use it in an urban area, or worse, indoor, GPS is not accurate enough, so the experience was less than perfect. But now, in recent months, basically, all of a sudden we have in our hands a bunch of tools which can scan the world and map it in 3D. whether it's handhelds or scanners in the world. And that allows us to really map the world to an accurate degree, and it will be extremely important to make the world a more interactive place. The fifth and last one is really summing up all the other trends, and it's about the fact that computers are disappearing onto our bodies and into the environment. And what's happening is a new interface is emerging, a truly natural interface. Multi-touch was heralded, just a few years ago as the new interface, but this is really the new interface where you're not limited to a 2D screen. You're interacting using your gestures, your eye, your body, the environment around you, in order to communicate in a most intuitive way with the world around you. This is how we are today, texting while walking and bumping into things. And this is how we're going to look in the future, because it's in our bones, the need to interact with the real world, with people, places, and things. And our job here in the conference and throughout the year is really to invent this new interface, because I don't think it's human-computer interaction anymore, which, it's been matured for 40 years. We have to leave a lot of these notions behind. And I think it's really a new domain that we should think of as human-world interaction. And that concludes my top 5 trends. If you want to see them in action, there's no better place than right here in Augmented World Expo. So what's happening this week? Here's a quick review. We just completed 2 amazing days, first of all, of a wearable hackathon. Over 100 people came in and for 36 hours hacked on a bunch of different wearables and came up with some cool things. We'll be showing them in the expo. Had a great tutorial day yesterday. Actually, first time that any organization, any place in the world allows you to actually see all these glasses and all these SDKs in a comparison, in a kind of independent comparison to get a sense of how they are. We also have some pretty cool keynotes that will blow your mind. With Robert Scowell did a cool keynote this morning representing the hottest startups in the space. Tomorrow we'll have Hiroshi Ishii, director at MIT Lab, that will showcase the latest research in the interactive world. And right after that, Tim Chang, a visionary investor, will represent the investment community with what he calls building the tech-enabled soul. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Then we have 152 speakers that will deliver 136 talks in 3 tracks that cover a wide range of technologies, probably the largest collection of industry use cases, and a bunch of new topics in design and culture. And we're able to put all this conference together thanks to our truly passionate, amazing group of sponsors, exhibitors, and partners. And we thank you for that. The year they're going to show about 200 demos throughout the show in 8 different pavilions on the expo floor. And tonight, there's the Augie Award ceremony, which will recognize the best of the best in 8 categories with the coolest trophy ever. The ceremony is tonight at 7 p.m. in the main theater. You're all welcome to join. And there's going to be a really super cool surprise as a halftime show, a theater improvisation with Google Glass on the actors. Never seen before. We're also bringing, since 2010, a bunch of artists in the art gala, an interactive sideshow right here on the floor. You have to see it to believe it. And City Visions, a huge mural in the expo to inspire developers to create augmentations that study the urban environment. And Give Me More, a cool installation of AR artwork in room 201. And a fashion show right after this press conference, 6:15, whole G&H. You're all invited. You have reserved seats, I believe. And tomorrow, the grand finale with Young Jake from Sundance Festival, a rapper artist that performs live with augmented reality. Again, you have to see it to believe it. But the best part, I think, is connecting with nearly 2,000 attendees, all passionate about making the world more interactive.
Everything is awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Ari. Am I hot? Well, that's okay, because you can hear me. Jean-Michel Fournier here from BitGym. There's a reason why we have an exercise bike in the front of the room, and he'll tell you exactly what the point of that is. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Ethan. Okay. So first, thanks, Hari, for a great event. We had a fantastic day today. A lot of people are really interested by augmented reality and about what we were doing in fitness, and a great organization, so thank you for that. So hi, everyone. So thank you for being here. I'm Jean-Michel Fournier, the CEO of BitGym. So before we start, I'd like you to be a little bit more involved. So what I'd like to do is ask you 3 questions regarding fitness. I see you guys, you start to be scared here. So first, all raise your hand. Come on, all raise your hand. Be active here. Great. Okay, so keep your hands up if you exercise at least 3 times a week. Okay, thank you. Keep your hands up if you love exercising on a treadmill. Come on, guys, what's happening? You're leaving me here. Okay, keep your hands up if exercising on a treadmill is your best part of the day, the best part of your day, after something else. Oh, just one, great, you're the winner. So everybody knows that, you know, exercising indoor is painful and very boring. And the mission for BitGym is to be able to change that. So our mission is to have cardio exercising as the best part of our day. It's what we are driving for. So how do we do that? So we've done some extensive user research and behavior analysis over the last year. And what we've seen is that creating an immersive environment was the first step to motivate people. So what we've done is really started to create this environment for our people. So great environment, video recorded on 4K and 6K, as you can see here in the picture, and with a high fidelity environment. So that was the first step to create this environment, this immersive environment. The interactivity was the next step. So what we've done with our technology, we are using the camera of the smart device to be able to scan your movement, your motion, and convert with our algorithm this motion into a cadence. So that's pretty cool to have a cadence, understand how fast you're going, what's your rotation per minute, what's your step per minute. But the best part of it is that now we are connecting the real world into a virtual environment. So that was really the next step. So what we've done in our first version that we launched in October last year was really to have the largest 4K video of video fitness around the world. So that was the first step. So we have more than 40 iconic destinations, going from Venice to the Grand Canyon, going to Europe, in Germany, in the Swiss Alps, and so on and so forth. And you are exercising through this environment. And the forward motion interactivity right now is fully stabilized, and we are able to create this interactivity. What we achieve in a few months is over 50,000 workout sessions. And we are starting to change positively people's lifestyle. We are getting significant amount of feedback from people enjoying the experience and having a different experience in exercising with BitGym. So here is a few codes that we are getting, mostly from Facebook and as well as from the contact@bitgym.com. So let me show you a quick video to give you a 1-minute overview about what we've done to date.
Cardio machines don't have to be boring. With the BitGym app, you can exercise on the most beautiful trails on Earth. BitGym works on your existing bike, elliptical, or treadmill. Just place your phone or tablet, launch the app, and select your workout. All of the tours in our library are speed interactive. That means they progress as fast as you exercise, motivating you to keep your pace up. There's no extra hardware to buy or configure because the app simply uses the front-facing camera on your tablet to track your exercise motion. BitGym has a large and growing collection of adventures. Try it for free and start looking forward to your workout.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step? So what we believe at BitGym is that augmented reality is the backbone to continue transforming cardio exercise to make it more engaging and more exciting. So in our testing, augmented reality support positive behavior change. So we have a customer advisory board of around 125 users. And we are testing new augmented reality technology that we are integrating in our video. And we are looking at the behavioral change for some people who are not exercising or exercising once a week and understand what's the level of motivation and how we change behavior in a technology point of view as well as in a psychological point of view to have them a great experience in working out. So what we announced today, we are pre-releasing 2 new features. So first, we integrated interactive incentive-based elements throughout the videos. So each element, as you can see here, are time-based. And you have to accelerate to be able to catch them. So think about gamification, but interactive elements that are integrated into real environments, real video and iconic destination. So it creates really an element of surprise, the possibility to earn virtual and real rewards. So we want people to be motivated, to be engaged, to be fully engaged in their exercise, where the mind and the body are engaged and are doing the exercise. Versus when you watch TV, you are distracted by the TV, but you are getting the joy from the TV and you are getting the pain from your body. And usually what's happening? Well, you stop exercising after a few weeks or after a few months and you hate it. So we want to change that. The next step was really the personalization. What's very important is, for the people to feel that they are engaged, to feel that there is a social obligation and a social engagement. So what we've done on our side was really to develop a one-to-one virtual fitness mentor. So when you exercise now, you have someone who is giving you instruction and helping you in your exercise activity. So that was really the first step of a virtual personal coach, where the coach sees your real-time performance and can educate you, instruct you about how to exercise, about how to feel, about how to breathe, about how to have a better workout at the end of the day. So it's a real human interaction. That's very important. It motivates you to exercise, and it will be, for us, we are targeting a very low price. We are expecting to have the lowest price in terms of coaching program into this environment. Why? Because as you can see here, you have a virtual partner. You're going to have a coach that's going to be integrated into the video. It will be real time. And at the same time, you're going to have the audio information coming to giving you real instruction. So we prepare a demo. So we have Alex, is our CTO for BitGym, and Joy, who is leading the design for the company. So we're going to give you a demo of the 2 new features that we are planning to have available end of the month, beginning of July. Alex?
Yeah, can you put the audio in? Can you go put this in? Hey everybody. Again, my name's Alex. I'm the CTO at BitGym, and I'm here to show you a live demo. As soon as we can switch over to the iPad now. And can you turn on the iPad? And unlock it. All right. So this is what you see when you open the app. She's going to take us on our first tour through southern New Zealand. So we have a lot of tours to choose from. You can stream them, or you can download them locally and store them on your device. You can choose different options about it, and you can choose what machine you're on. So it works on bikes, ellipticals, treadmills, rowing machines, and of course, she's going to select bike. So now this is the camera tracking part. So it's scanning her motion right now. So as she starts exercising, it's going to pick up that motion and translate it into the app. So that swoosh swirling around her is her exercise motion. So as she starts, and you can watch her feet and then watch the exercise, it matches 1-to-1. And we can tell exactly how fast she's going with like 99% accuracy. And again, this works. This is not a special bike. This is just a regular old bike we put the iPad on top of. It would work just as well with a phone or an Android device. So as you can see, this is a very beautiful trail that we've augmented with these on-screen elements. We have the full 3D information of this path, and we use it to draw these elements in real time on the tablet in our 3D engine. We use it to add these incentive-based systems. So that coin has come in, giving her this, sense of variable reward. What is it? Can she get it? And if she speeds up, she'll catch it and have some points applied to her account. Very easy. So yeah, again, this is just one of the many tours. I think the next step would be to switch over to our Chilean Patagonia tour and meet up with our instructor, Chuck. So go ahead and hit coached. It's going to give him a call. Oh, no.
I think we lost the Wi-Fi connection.
Oh, do we have to re-authenticate the Wi-Fi? Oh, that's why. Yeah. It's this instant internet. It's only marginally instant.
Just connected with the internet.
Let's see, what else can I talk about? So the technology is really efficient. It's just using the front-facing camera. It uses about 10% of one of the cores on a mobile device. We developed this right when the iPad 2 came out, and we had to be like really, really resource efficient. And it's worked out to be a good bet, because now that as we built the Android app over the last year and expanded into Android, some devices don't have a whole lot of power, and it's really nice to fit in the footprint. All right, so let's try this again. Just tap on coached.
Hi, Chuck.
Hey, Joy, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. So, shall we get started now?
I think we should. We're going to do a quick explosive power interval sprint today. So why don't you get those legs rolling around 80 RPM?
So this is our master spin instructor, Chuck Colley. He's agreed to help us out for this demo today.
Should I pedal now?
Yeah, so get started.
All right, real good.
Oh,
So try and get those
the
legs
connector
around
came loose.
80 RPM
Oh, we
and
got it,
hold
we got
it there.
We got it. There we go.
All right, in about 10 seconds, we're going to start our first sprint, and you're going to go up to 100 RPM. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Looking good. Keep them going. We're going to go for 12 seconds. 13 seconds to go. Oh, look at you go. 115 RPM. Here we go. Let's count it down now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow your legs down. Good job. Good job.
Oh, there's a coin. Get the coin.
Come on, Joy.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Joy, you're doing great in front of all those people. Good job.
Okay, cool.
All right, you ready to do another sprint?
Yes.
All right.
All right. I think they got the.
We're out of
I think we're out of time,
all
and
right.
she got the hang of it.
Not
Thank you,
yet,
Chuck.
Joy, not yet. Just let those legs turn.
He's a real hard
Turn
ass.
about 80 RPM.
Thanks, Chuck.
Okay, and take some real deep breaths.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. I think we're done here.
Thanks, Joy. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
She lost she burned a few calories today, like we all did. Do you want to switch to the slide deck? So that's the presentation of BGym. What we want really is transforming a cardio exercise to make it enjoyable. It's really our mission. Those are our first steps, and we believe that we are in the right path to be able to use augmented reality to create a different experience. So we are open to Q&A. I think we just have maybe one question.
One question. Anybody?
Where do we get it?
Where do we get it was the question.
So it's very cheap. So it's very cheap. So it's around $2,000 per month. Just kidding. It's So it's a mobile app available on Android and iOS. So we touch most of the platform. And we have a subscription service. So you have 2 video sessions for free per month. And after that, if you want to access more video and more tours, it's a $7.99 per month, a subscription service.
That's not bad. That's
Yeah.
not bad. It certainly would make it interesting. And that's for Android also?
Yes. It's fully stable on both platforms, as well as Amazon, actually, on the Kindle Fire.
Bitgym.com or where we go?
Yeah, bitgym.com, or you go to the App Store and you look at Bitgym and we'll be there.
All right, I
Thank you.
apologize. I see some other hands, but we're behind schedule, and I want to make sure we get everybody a chance. So I'm going to introduce Nadia Ballard from Engrain.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
VGA's right here.
Okay, I guess we can take a question while she's setting up. So who had a question for Bitgym? Yeah.
Are you using vision analysis to determine, I'm over here. Are you using vision analysis to determine the rate of motion and everything else? Is it the head that's moving from side to side? Yeah. So how accurate or what kind of margin of error is that translate to if you had direct sensors on the bike itself relative to what kind of output you're getting from the vision algorithm?
That's a good question. So we do, we are looking at 3 points, the shoulders and your front head. So we are looking at the triangle, and we are looking at the movement, the right and left movement. With the testing that we've done over the last 12 months, we are at 98% accuracy compared to a top cadence system. Just to let you know, the cadence system in the cardio equipment, the treadmill or bike, is really not accurate. It's actually around 60 to 70%. So, which is very interesting. So for us, we can really create a very nice interactivity into the system directly.
Is there anything else that you might be able to intuit from the visual information about the performance of the person that you haven't implemented yet or you've been thinking of?
Yes, yes. So what we are able to do, part of the roadmap, we are looking at different elements. So one of them is that with the camera, we have a patented technology where you are able to do the motion right and left, and we are also to be able to do the multi-directional. So think that now you are in the Grand Canyon, you are running and you're going to move your head or your hand, and you're going to change direction. So we will be able to do multi-directional. The challenge we have, they are very high quality videos because they are often in 4K and 6K. And we've done the testing with a 3-minute video. It's around 20 gigabytes. So we still have some challenges in terms of the bandwidth and being able to keep the quality. What's very important for us, the immersivity is critical, the immersion is critical, so we don't want to discount the quality at all. So for us, we stay at the highest quality out there, and we'll see what's possible in the technology point of view. Right now, we do both streaming, live streaming, if you have a Wi-Fi, or you can download it and do it offline.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay. Dan, you want to have a technical problem, so
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're going to switch over because we're having a technical glitch with this laptop. This is Dan from Sulon Technologies. I've actually seen the demo that his company has, and I have to tell you that you got to experience it, which he'll tell you how to do. But it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's not here, but you can have first-hand experience at Napa Eye, which is you can find your way there.
It's not in this room, but it is in the building. Yeah.
So you're going to grab it from that side? Do you guys hear me okay, or do I need to speak in the mic? Mic? You want mic? Testing? No. It works here? Okay. All right. So how's everyone today? It's a pretty good show, huh? Yeah? It's pretty cool things. Yeah. I want to go back a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Now you'll see why I disintroduced him with his first name.
Yeah. Most people just call me Dan. They usually give up pronouncing that. If you want to try, it's Danushin Balachandreswaran. I am the CEO of Sulon Technologies, a next-generation game technology company located in Toronto, Ontario. Now, I loosely say game technology because we ended up solving a bigger problem than we intended to. What we've done was that we created a platform, a wearable head-mounted device that takes your mobile device and transforms it into a holodeck-like experience. I'll loosely say holodeck also, because I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. What the system does is it dynamically maps your physical environment, indoors or outdoors, regardless of size, in 3D, and applies geometric transformations and changes your real world from something from augmented to a virtual reality, fully immersive experience. I can add virtual zombies that are life-size scale within your own space, and they will chase you down within your own environment. When you look at them, they'll be as real as it can be. When they walk on your real carpeted floor, the carpet will recess. I can manipulate your entire world. I can make you walk into a room and come back out of that room, and now you're in a fully virtual battlefield. The system knows the physical boundaries and is contextually aware of all of its surroundings. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. I'm going to show you an augmented reality trailer. It's very easy to put this trailer together and experience it on our system. No, I'm not joking. It really does do that. So what we've done in that trailer was place 3D character models, which are animated, which are the spiders. We've inserted a black texture that was the floor, the hole in the floor, and an adaptive texture mapping, which actually picks up the hardwood floor, and through an animated object, just explodes it. Then we show in the black floor, it makes it look like a hole, and the spider jumps through. And that was an augmented reality experience. It's a little bit different because from what traditionally is out there are no markers. The system dynamically maps your environment in a span of 10 milliseconds with a 3D point cloud. It knows as you crouch, jump, run, and it knows everything about your environment. Even things that are not initially mapped, it dynamically maps and finds your position live. Of course, what we haven't shown was the full virtual aspect of it, but it's not really virtual reality per se. It's augmented virtual reality in my definition, because you really are augmenting virtual reality onto your space, where you can go up to a wall, you can touch the wall, feel like drywall, but actually will look like crumbling bricks from a medieval castle. Whether it's a 50-floor apartment complex with like thousands of rooms, or your backyard, or just a basement, or just a single room, it doesn't matter. It dynamically maps the environment you want to play in and experience entertainment as a whole, and changes it into an augmented virtual reality experience. And yes, the demo does exist, so please go try it out in Napa Eye. So what is this device? What makes this device happen? We call this the Cortex. The Cortex is a wearable head-mounted device that looks just like this in different perspectives. It has 3 parts. The little knob at the top, you see, it looks kind of weird. The ID is still in work, so don't laugh at it. But it's a spatial scanner. A spatial scanner maps the environment in 3D in a span of 10 milliseconds. It knows where all the walls are down to 10 millimeter accuracy, up to a radius of 50 meters. That's 300 feet or so in 10 milliseconds. It sends that data high speed via back to the spatial processing unit, which sits at the back of the unit. See that little thing you can see on the third picture? It looks pretty cool, but not the front end visor, but the back of it. It's called the SPU, the spatial processing unit. This is where it does all of the holodeck type calculations and algorithms. And it sends the resulting data via Bluetooth to your mobile device, which slides into the front visor, which doubles as a screen. And there's a camera system on your mobile device, as well as in the system, that actually captures the AR experience and manipulates the world. Of course, there's extended use packs inside the Cortex, also lengthening your activity with the system. Now, loosely, when I first initially put loosely on the holodeck-like experience, it's not really like a holodeck-like experience. It's the closest thing I can compare it to that I know of in sci-fi. The system what we ended up trying to, the problem that we were trying to solve earlier on, which is about 3 years ago, was a holodeck-like experience, but we ended up solving a different problem, and I believe it's a bigger problem to solve. How do we get holodeck-like experiences to mass community? Current research organizations, both in the defense and other industries, as they explore holodeck-like experiences, they look at fixed-based, location-based centers, multi-hundred-million-dollar location centers, and it's still wearable devices. But there's a problem with this approach. The problem with this approach is that you only have a limited amount of people to actually experiment, research, produce, and actually enhance the technology. And what happened was that the way I approached this technology was to find a way to get into mass hands. And that's why we came up with a spatial scanner, which actually adapts to any environment, regardless of location. Here's some first-hand reaction shots of people trying it out. Let me go forward a little bit more. So, oh, backwards.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Twice you. I can hear something. Whoa! Get out of my life. Oh my gosh!
Oh, snap.
Die, dead. Zombie.
Yes, you can pre-order the Cortex now. It's shipping out Q4 this year. It's under $500. You can transform your mobile phone into a spatial entertainment system, which is my word, and our way of actually explaining with a one or two word definition of what the experience is. It manipulates your spatial environment into a spatial movie, spatial gaming, spatial training, all kinds of different type of spatial applications. And you can experience this for yourself at Napa Eye. So please spread the word and go ahead and try it out and see if I'm bogus. Questions? Go ahead.
I don't know if I was asleep at the wheel, but
It's cool.
do you need to slip your smartphone into it, or does it have its own display?
No, your mobile phone acts as a display. But there are more features that will be mentioned throughout this year, so keep yourself posted. We are, I know what you're going to end up getting at, but some things are kept secret for now. But you'll see there'll be quite a bit of a colorful reveal throughout this year.
And by the way, if it wasn't clear, Napa I or Napa 1, that's a room in the hotel. So you can go over there and check it out. Yes. Yeah, you just have to walk over to the hotel section.
I'll be there. I'll answer any questions further over there. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, coming up next is Track Lord from Matayo.
Hey, me again. That mic. Mike.
At the bottom of the mic, please.
Tap it. I think it worked. Sorry, guys. How's everyone doing? Still awake? We good? This is going to be considerably shorter than my last presentation. Okay, so once again, I'm Track Lord, the head of marketing for Matayo. one of the augmented reality companies and silver sponsors here at AWE. If you haven't checked it out yet, we do have a booth. It's downstairs in the expo floor, which I hear is still rocking. I don't know, but I've been up here for about 2 hours. So hopefully it's still cool down there. If you haven't heard so far, we released this on Thursday, but we're trying to get the word out. We have sort of stumbled upon this kind of futuristic interface for wearable computing. And we call it thermal touch because that's literally the only thing I would allow them to get through the marketing team. You have no idea how many strange names we came up with it, but the most descriptive and accurate was definitely thermal touch, because what we're doing is, and you can see in this prototype, you have your infrared thermal camera and the visible light camera, which for the non-technical people out there is just a camera. And then it's running on a tablet PC, and it's all connected through that and running our software. And what we did is we combined the thermal imaging, which basically allows you to see the heat signature of devices, the heat signature of anything in the world, with our augmented reality computer vision algorithms. So that allows us to, say someone touches a surface, that white hot heat fingerprint that's left from that none of us really see day to day, we can actually use the thermal camera to recognize that through augmented reality tracking algorithms, and then use that to launch an experience. It's really cool stuff. Of course, as you can see by the unwieldiness of this prototype, this is not a consumer-ready demo. This is not something we're selling. In fact, that camera probably costs about $6,000 alone. So this is not something that you can really just do it yourself. But however, we've noticed with wearable computing that there really hasn't been that go-to interface, right? And I see a bunch of you tapping your glasses, and it's exactly what I'm talking about, right? Whether it's swiping, whether it's touch, whether it's voice navigation, companion devices, nothing necessarily really clicks. And I think a lot of people have been as futuristically impressed with wearable computing as they have been frustrated by a lot of the user interfaces. So this is where Matteo sort of came in and tried to find a very natural, very intuitive user interface with the ideal in mind that we would have embedded infrared cameras. And that may seem pretty outlandish, but keep in mind that before 2008, phones that had cameras, the cameras were awful. They were terrible. Nowadays, we can't even think of a device that we would have that doesn't have a camera. And it used to be in 2005, we'd say, why do we need a camera? I have a camera. Why do I need a camera in my phone? Now it's almost inextricably linked, right? And now we're talking today, earlier in the last session, about 3D cameras. And there are companies like Intel and NVIDIA. I'm sure many others that are talking about actually embedding 3D cameras in phones. So for us, it's not really far out to think that infrared cameras could potentially be embedded in not only mobile devices, but wearable devices. So this is basically what I just said. Once again, R&D. But I'm going to let you guys check out the video if you haven't already seen it. Can we get some sound? Maybe? Sorry?
Did you plug in the 180?
I did not. I plugged in HDMI. Start that over. Real quick video.
CEO and co-founder of Mateo. In the last 2 years, we've seen that head-worn devices are coming to the marketplace. What has been unsolved, though, is how are we interacting with these head-worn devices. This is why Mateo has invented the thermal touch technology, which makes any physical object around you a touchable object. So literally, the world becomes a touchscreen. If you use your hands, you can interact with the digital content in any environment.
So we basically put together a few concepts of how we would see this technology being useful in the future.
Based on a tablet PC.
This is now the sort of the real-life video of the actual prototype.
In the future, we assume that there will be head-mounted displays and wearable computers comprising those two cameras. A thermal image provides the pixel-wise temperature of the captured environment. The approach we use to detect touches is based on detection of the thermal energy a surface of an object emits after it has been touched and thereby heated up locally. One very nice feature of thermal touch is that it can clearly distinguish if a surface has actually been touched or if a finger only approached it without any physical contact, and hence significantly less heat transfer. The field of possible applications for thermal touch is wide. There are many more ways to combine thermal touch for natural interfaces with more modalities, for instance speech input, in the future.
We truly believe that computer vision and augmented reality will change the way we interact with digital information.
Cool. I did not bring copies of the press release with me because, trying to be green. However, if you'd like to find the press release, it's available at this website. It's the top press release there. It gives you all sorts of information on it. You can also find that video on YouTube. I think all you have to do is Google thermal touch, and that should work out. Just don't go to like the 9th or 10th page. And then that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any more questions, I brought the demo with me. Probably not I don't think everyone's gonna hang around, but just the demo will be available tomorrow at the booth. So if you want to stop by, please, I'll be there all day, ask questions, etc. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, the next speaker is Jay Wright from Qualcomm. While he's plugging in, we'll take a question or two for Track.
Yes, sir.
What's on the horizon for infrared sensors?
Where do you want that?
What's on the horizon for infrared sensor design? Is the design of infrared sensors following Moore's law the way other silicon technologies is following it? And could planoptic arrays and various cooling of the chip surfaces and the like maybe solve some of the expense and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think you answered a lot of your own question. I think with the advancement of any kind of technology and sensors, we're seeing more and more advanced sensors get into devices every day. We've already talked a little bit earlier today. See this? All right, we already talked earlier today in the last session about hardware acceleration, things like parallel computing, CPU, GPU optimization, even planoptic arrays. These kind of things are definitely going to accelerate all of technology, let alone computer vision and augmented reality. Of course, we like anything that helps camera technology because that's our core competency and that's what we do. And that's why we're being, I don't think necessarily modest in saying that it's about 5 years out. I think that's a pretty core time, and that's one of the reasons we try to make sure that everyone knows this is R&D. This is not something that's ready in the near future, but I think definitely on the horizon. 5 years is a short time. 5 years ago, we barely had iPhones.
Right.
Now everyone's got an iPhone, and it really doesn't seem like anything's changed that much, right? So, I think 5 years will go by, and we'll have all sorts of new devices, new sensors, new technologies, and for us, it's important to be ready for that, to prepare.
Thank you.
Thank you. Another question, quickly?
Sure. Just how long does it take for the heat to dissipate from the surface after you touched it, in your experience?
So this is when it gets really fun with physics. The question was, how long does it take for the heat to dissipate after the surface? So in testing, we found that some surfaces, like plastic, retain a heat signature for a very long time, which made it very, very difficult when you're doing the demo all day. You actually superheat the entire structure, and it's completely impossible to run the demo anymore because you're sitting there like, it's not like it's not horribly hot, but it's so much that you basically have to take the camera. The camera is actually very, very cool, no pun intended, in the sense that you can actually adjust the heat sensitivity and make it so that there's less noise, make it so that, depending on what it's doing. But then there's also a lot of this going on. I got it this time. I got it. Okay, that's good. Because you really do sometimes have to do this, which is funny because people ask, we say nearly any service because, of course, it won't work on a stove. It won't work, unfortunately, work on hotter industrial systems. So, of course, we're going to think about that. However, would probably work very well in cooler climates because, of course, you're going to get more discrepancy. And as long as you have one of those hand warmers that we used to use back in Maine, you should be all good. But it really does come into physics because you start to figure out which surfaces will retain the heat and which ones have a really large heat capacity. Aluminum, for instance, huge heat capacity, which means that you can run a demo on an aluminum surface all day. Plastic car over there, not so much, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can Xiaomi's
I don't get it. Oh. It's really, you know what? When the zombie cyborg apocalypse happens, I will make sure to destroy the thermal touch prototype first. I promise. It's my promise to you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys for staying to the end. I hope you've got a few good minutes left in you. I'll make this relatively brief. My name is Jay Wright. I'm the Vice President of Product Management for Qualcomm Vuforia. For those of you who are familiar with Qualcomm, you know our core business is chipsets and technology licensing. Vuforia is in a relatively newly created division, Qualcomm Connected Experiences, and Vuforia is now a standalone business unit within that division. So this is something that even in the time since we have been coming to AWE the last 4 years has graduated quickly at Qualcomm from an R&D effort to a full ecosystem-facing software initiative. I should also mention that it's a key part of our digital sixth sense strategy at Qualcomm, where we are trying to endow multiple or mobile devices with the same senses and faculties that we have as humans. So we want to give these devices the ability to see, the ability to hear, the ability to understand, know where they are, and know what we're doing. 3 pieces of information that I'd like to cover this evening. Number 1 is a big traction milestone for us with Vuforia. We are 3.5 years into this effort. We just crossed a developer milestone of 100,000 registered developers. And I think that is significant because while we have not perhaps achieved mainstream everyday adoption, we have seen, absolutely are seeing critical mass of adoption with developers. Now the other thing to point out is this has been a global phenomenon. We've seen this distributed all over the world. So while Western Europe actually leads among developers, North America and Asia, number 2 and 3, we're seeing quite a bit that's happening in developing nations also. So I think this is showing that smartphone penetration is everywhere, and the need to use vision to create engaging experiences with mobile devices is equally pervasive. Number 2, I'd like to talk about a technology called Smart Terrain. We announced Smart Terrain at Qualcomm's Uplink conference last September. We demonstrated a game that used a commercial tablet with a depth sensing camera attached to it. And what we showed was the first of its kind real-time 3D reconstruction of a table and objects that were on top of it. And the reason that we did that is we wanted the ability for someone to play a game on the table and for somebody to be able to create their own game world or environment by moving the objects around on the table. So we really see this and heard from developers that this was an important capability to bring a next level of interactivity to AR gaming experiences. What we have announced last week and have shown here today is Smart Terrain that will be shipping with Vuforia 3.0 next month. What we have done differently is we have advanced the technology such that it does not require the depth sensing camera. It will work on existing Android and iOS devices with their standard built-in cameras. We have also done this in a way such that when developers build their applications for Smart Terrain on today's devices, they will have an even better experience with a richer 3D reconstruction as new devices come to market that have various types of depth sensing cameras within them. So I've got a short video on this that I will run for you and let you take a look. Oops, I won't. To press the right button.
To help fans celebrate the World Cup, McDonald's is unveiling an innovative and exciting new game that uses Smart Terrain. Users activate the experience using a McDonald's fry box, and the tabletop becomes a play area. You can use the ball to make trick shots off of various items on the table which Smart Terrain has identified and reconstructed in the game. Here are a few other apps developers are working on.
So while Smart Terrain today has been designed to work on a table with number of objects, the goal and the longer-term vision is for us to be able to do a 3D reconstruction in real time as we walk around wherever we go. That'll allow us to do great things with gaming and other types of experiences also. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about is a new beta that we've announced that's extending our object recognition capability for use with toys. One of the big categories of applications we have seen is toy manufacturers that are seeking to mix toys with digital experiences to create new play patterns for kids. I think this has largely been driven by toy companies losing some kids who would rather play with a tablet or phone than they would a toy. So they need to make the two work together. And let me show this video to you and give you a sense of how this functionality works. Oops, that doesn't seem like that was the right. The toy music. So in this case, it's actually recognizing the toy itself. And this is something we spent a lot of time on to get right and get really, really robust. But this whole notion of configuring a toy as a child and then importing it into the game so I can play with it digitally or unlock new functionality within the game has been something that's been really, really exciting and well received by the toy industry. So you will see some things come to market later this year that will amaze you and hopefully amaze your kids. But in the meantime, this beta will be available from the Vuforia developer website. And that is the sum total of my 3 items. Thank you so much for enduring this event until 6:24. Oh, I'm sorry. Got one more. I thought I was last.
You were last, but we swapped it because we had a technical glitch. So we actually have one more.
Okay.
Let's let Nadia plug in, and we'll take questions for Jay while she's doing that. You, sir.
Jay, is this available for Android and iOS?
Yes, it is. Both Smart Terrain and toy recognition are available for both phones and tablets.
Yes. Are you going to package them separately, or with Vuforia, or how do you?
Yeah, so Smart Terrain is in the SDK when it ships next month for Vuforia 3.0. It will be included. The toy recognition will be included in the fall. Yes?
This kind of application be used for people that are vision impaired to sort of pre-identify obstacles in their path, kind of like a virtual canyon for blind people. At least alert them to certain things that might be on some map.
You know, it very much could. That's an interesting idea. Yeah, the idea here is it's finding big objects in your way, smart terrain to find obstacles. It certainly could. That would actually be something.
A lot of cognitive impairment that people have. Some of them can't recognize objects in their way, or scenes, or colors, and face blindness, and vision recognition can be helpful in this area. So, hey, toys pick it up, and someone can go for a walk and never could before.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
On the subject of smart terrain, 3D objects.
Interesting.
Or development on interconnecting two devices to see the same objects. Like say, I had the ability to pick up and move 3D objects and someone see that object.
With the 3D object recognition, that would be relatively straightforward. There's not the notion today of being able to share a smart terrain, if you will, between devices. But it's an interesting idea. Anybody else? Great. Well, thank you very much.
So unfortunately, my computer is still not cooperating, but thank you for sticking around. I'll be very short, and I'll start while we're figuring this out. I'm Nadia Ballard. My colleague Barry Poe there and Jennifer Smith-Wiley represent Engrain. We're a 3D and augmented reality for the enterprise company based out of Vancouver, Canada. We announced a couple of news items today. The first one was had to do with improving a lot of our technical capabilities to make AR even more scalable and deployable in the enterprise, including markerless tracking, including solid and line drawing modes, sensor connectivity to, okay, thank you. Yes, so maybe I can keep going this way and just, okay. Sensor connectivity, I'm just gonna go to the, okay. So simulated real-time part updates, including, as I mentioned, sensor connectivity. So it really is making AR viable for the Internet of Things or the industrial Internet. We are a stable, mature, really easily deployable solution, actually a complement to a lot of the platforms and the products you're seeing in the expo floor. Some of the other improvements include animated equipment, procedures, and similar aids that help workers do their job better, whether they're in the field as maintainers, technicians, inspectors, or on the manufacturing floor trying to put together a new part. This is an example of also visual analytics. So a lot of the color-coded parts you see there would represent either a part that's really hot, code is functioning correctly or not, it's under pressure, or anything like that. The other announcement we made was about our subscription pricing. We launched a new plan today, a new pricing model that includes a promotional deal to celebrate our launch of this new pricing model, $99 per month for 3 months, starting today. We make it very, not only easy to create content for augmented reality and deploy it in the enterprise, but also affordable and flexible for enterprises of any size. I want to show you why we think we have the best enterprise AR product out there. And I want to play a quick video.
Oh, yeah. That was a speaker, yeah. Actually, no, I need to do that. Yeah. So where's everything down under the table? Okay, that's cool. Okay.
Sound is
you know what? So 9 is good. 9 tomorrow?
Picture it.
9? Okay.
A manufacturing environment
You're great.
free
Thank
of
you.
obstacles, free of limits. One that blurs the distinction between information and reality. An environment that completely immerses you in the task at hand. Everything you need right in front of you. Dimensioning, instructions, locators. All you need to do is execute. Picture precision. Picture simplicity. Picture the future.
So the most important point we want to make with this video is not necessarily what you see on the screen. It's the fact that it was created in 2007. Engrain's been around for about a dozen years, and we believe that augmented reality is the natural evolution of interactive 3D, which is where our roots are. So since 2007, we've been thinking and working on ways to make it as scalable, reliable, and ready for mission-critical applications as our interactive 3D technology is. We have many clients that think we already are there, and we continue to improve. Some of our most important advantages are that it is truly a build once, deploy everywhere technology. We work on most platforms, including Qualcomm and Metaio here, as well as on mobile devices, on wearables, laptops, and even immersive environments. We built for rapid content creation. That's one of the most difficult problems that a lot of enterprises have. It's just, it takes a long time to create good, usable content for augmented reality. We automated that process. It made it really easy for subject matter experts to do it. You don't need custom developers. You don't need to bring in a team that is coding and scripting for you. No need for that. And finally, as I mentioned, we are all about scalable deployment. Everything in our powerful rendering engine is built to make it easy to do that. Starting with the fact that we can take in massive data sets in any kind of data format, including all the 3D CAD/CAM standards, as well as point cloud, sensor data, your structured and unstructured data that runs through your enterprise and all the systems. So these are basically the advantages. I'm not going to go into too many details. As I said, I'll try to keep it short, but I'm happy to discuss further. We're in booth 62. Please stop by and see me or my colleagues, and we'll be happy to show you why Ngrain makes it easy for enterprise users to make it easy to enhance the performance of their people, of their equipment, and the interactions between them with Ngrain augmented reality. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nadia. All right, let's all go downstairs because I think everybody wants to check out the wearable fashion show, right? So they're waiting for us because I asked them to. I didn't want anybody to miss anything. So right downstairs, if you follow me, but it's G&H right behind registration. And again, thank you so much for coming to the press conference. I hope it was informative, and we'll see you soon.